All right, we're live. Okay, hello everyone, and welcome back to Tabletop Dads. My name is Jordan. We're going to be going through episode 2 of our live run-through of the Lost Mines of Phandelver. I am joined by 3 Tabletop Dads members, fellow players. A couple of them you'll recognize from last time. One of them got a new guy. I'm going to let them introduce themselves before we get started. So, Jason, if you want to kick it off.
All right. Hello all. I'm Jason from Melbourne, Australia, playing the part of Sintaris, the High Elf Wizard, and devout acolyte of Ogma, the all-seeing god of knowledge.
Thomas, if you want to go next for us.
Hi, I'm Thomas. I'm from the UK. I'll be playing your rogue, Horvin. I'll hopefully be playing it as peaceful as possible.
Yeah, it's gonna be tough with a criminal, isn't it? Yeah, Thomas is a real trooper. He just jumped in, saw us commenting on Facebook, and we were only gonna be 2 people if he didn't show up. So thank God he showed up. And then Sean, take us home.
Yeah, I'm Sean from just outside Buffalo, New York, and I'm going to be playing again Grynar, the Hill Dwarf Cleric, and I'm the cousin of our patron, Gundren Rockseeker. Should be good. We were in the middle of the cave, and it was a little hairy last time. I was unconscious for a good portion of it, so hopefully this one goes a little bit better.
Watch out for those traps.
Remember your life domain.
Yes, that would have made a difference. Last time, I forgot I was life domain, so I didn't get. I think it was like 3 points of healing I should have.
All right.
Oh, wow. Does one of you, Thomas? I know you watched the video last time, so either you can do it too. Anyone want to give a recap of last time for a point of inspiration?
Oh gosh, don't know if I remember it well enough. It's so long ago.
I can do it. I just want to throw it out there in case someone wants inspiration.
Well, let's see. We were driving the cart down the trail toward Phadalin. Came across some blockage in the road, specifically some dead horses that were riddled with arrows. Upon inspection, we could see that the horses belonged to Gundren and the fighter that was accompanying him, Sildar. We managed to. Oh, sorry. We then were ambushed by 4 goblins. We managed to defeat the goblins. We tied one of them up and got him to take us to their hideout, stumbling across a couple of traps along the way, at which point we decided the goblin wasn't really that much use to us as a guide, so we killed him. And then, yes, went into the hideout once we found it. Came across some wolves, which Ripped and Grynar very cleverly disposed of. Not disposed of by killing, but by freeing them from their chains and luring them out of the cave so that we didn't have to deal with them anymore. Came across some more goblins. And took care of them pretty handily. When the leader of the goblins tried to get us to bargain for the life of Sildar by taking out the leader of the bandit hideout, we chose to decline that offer after being advised by Sildar not to trust this guy. So killed him, and we revived Sildar. And I believe we were in the process of trying to see how we could fortify the chamber that we're in so that we could have a long rest and get everyone back up on their feet.
Yes, perfect. Yeah, and you guys were able to. You pushed a little boulder in the way of the doorway, so you're able to get that blocked off. So yeah, that's where you left off. Sildar, you had to revive Grynar too.
Oh yes, yeah. Sorry, I left out a couple of details specifically.
Yeah, by handily dispatch the goblins, he means one of them crit me in the face and knocked me out, and I was bleeding out.
I was laughing that Sean was shaking his head while you were describing the journey to the cave about tripping the traps, because Sean tripped both of them, one after the other.
He's been unlucky, very unlucky.
My character apparently does not have. He's not very perceptive, apparently.
It's his bushy eyebrows that get stuck in his way. All right, so yeah, so you guys you wake up. You don't really know what time it is. You just know you've slept long enough. You're in the same cave. The dead goblins are still piled up next to the fire that you've all stripped of all of their riggles and such. But as you all get strapped up, and Sildar's putting on the short sword that you or short sword or long sword, Sintaris, that you gave him.
It's a short sword.
Short sword. So yeah, you gave him a short sword. He's strapping that up. He doesn't have any armor. He doesn't know where that's been taken from when he was captured. But the one thing you do notice as you awake is the boulder that you put in the way last night. It's creaked open a little bit, just a small bit, a little 3 foot by 2 foot opening. And as you awaken, you kind of look over in the corner, and just sitting there with his own little fire and his own little pot of stew is a little halfling, just looking at you. So, halfling, if you want to go ahead and introduce yourself.
Okay. I suppose I obviously sat by the side of the fire. As they wake up, I look over and I'll just be like, "Well, good morning, sleepyheads. How did you happen to become here?"
You haven't killed us in our sleep, so I'm assuming that your intentions are not hostile.
No, more curiosity on why people would seal themselves in a cave.
Well, let's just say we needed to recover a little bit. We had some fun last night.
Yes, you can see the product of that fun lying in a pile over here.
By the corpses, if you mean the goblins, then yeah, well done.
Well, we were led here after being ambushed on the road to Phandalin. We needed to rescue our companion here, Sildar, who was accompanying our patron on the way to Phandalin. And we're in the process of trying to clear this bandit hideout from the goblinoids that inhabit it, so that they will not conduct future raids on innocent travelers in the future.
And then, Corbin, as you hear him start to mention Phandalin and that they were the patron and Sildar, it starts racking your brain. You were supposed to be on this journey with them. You had overslept. By the time you got to Waterdeep, they were gone. So you decided to use your roguish skills and start tracking them to see if you could at least catch up, because you wanted that gold that you were promised. And you tracked them into this cave, and you tracked them into the assumed they were the ones who sealed themselves in the tunnel.
Okay. Yeah, I was. Yeah, I was meant to be here with you guys, but I seem to have got a bit sidetracked by things going on in the tavern. The ale was flowing, the women was around. So I tracked you guys here. I'm assuming we're meant to be together, heading on the same route.
Well, I suppose it's better late than never. I'm certain that the rest of these goblins in this cave know that we're here now, so we probably won't be able to surprise them, and the more sharp blades we can throw at them, the better.
Sounds like fun.
Whatever you got.
And then you start to make your way off. Ripped, your fighter who was with you, something has happened to him in the night. He's still awake, he's conscious, but he's horribly ill. And so he tells you guys that you should probably go on and he'll catch up, but he can't even stand up. So he's going to reseal himself in the cave, clearly strong enough to move the boulder if need be, and catch up with you guys as soon as he is able-bodied. So you guys are all strapped up. You've had your long rest. You found your new companion. What do you want to do next?
I'll go over to Sildar and say, Sildar, are you feeling sufficiently recuperated to accompany us on our extermination mission?
He kind of looks back at you and goes, much better. I feel revived, and I feel far better with some steel in my hand, that's for sure.
Excellent. Well, I'm going to cast a protective magical aura around you, which will hopefully help protect you from harm. All I ask is that you try as much as possible to keep yourself between me and anything with claws or teeth or weapons that might try to hurt me. And with that,
Fair
I cast
request.
mage. Yeah, and with that, I cast mage armor on Sildar.
Okay, and mage armor gives him
13 plus his dex modifier, which, if I remember correctly, is 0.
yeah, so 13.
Well, better than 10.
Better than 10, much better. Okay, so you guys all gear up. You're all ready to march out. There's only one way you can come out, and it's the way you came in. So together you guys shove the boulder open because whatever the halfling came through, it's not going to be a big enough opening for you guys to go through. So you shove that up, and you come out to a little crossroads to the right. That's where you came from. You can see the rather steep, gravelly inclines that Grynar struggled to get up. And to your straight ahead, darkness.
I'm guessing we'd head the darkness way. It seems the more fun choice.
Now, I'm
We
trying
should
to
all have
remember.
dark vision.
Yeah, we should all have dark vision,
Yeah.
correct?
Yeah, it's all dark vision, but I mean, you
Okay.
can't see anything up there.
Right.
It's just a tunnel.
Well, now that I've rested, I would feel confident again, being fully healed and ready to go to kind of take the lead, shield in front of me, ready to go, and hopefully to not get crit in the face again. So I'd say I'm going to lead just kind of cautiously, not super slow, but being very deliberate, looking around, kind of stepping through the tunnel, just seeing what's up ahead.
Okay, so then what's marching order, you guys? Obviously, Grynar we have in front. But
I'd go second. So obviously, if anything pops up, I can kind of hide and hopefully attack.
okay, and then Sildar kind of looks to you and be like, "Well, if I have to uphold my end of the bargain, Sintaris, I suppose you should be next."
Thanks very much.
Whoa. I got a whiteboard over here to track everything. Okay.
Oh, that's good.
All right, so you guys make your way. You're navigating your way through the tunnel, and it starts to kind of gradually go right, and you start to hear the sound of the stream opening up again. So you can assume you're heading back to the center of the cave. And the other thing you hear is this crickety, like, as if someone's walking on wood. And if you remember correctly, and Horban, you probably saw it when you walked in too. They're probably approaching the bridge that they sneakily avoided going by, that spanned over the about 20 feet above the stream over the middle of the cavern.
Oh, yeah. All right, so stealthily as it goes.
So
Yeah, I'm not sure
yeah,
how stealthily I can be. I'm wearing chain, but I would definitely not be making loud noises if I can help it. Just kind of keeping an eye out, seeing.
Go ahead and I'll roll stealth checks if you guys want to.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say
If you want to be
I'd wanna
stealthy, you know.
try
Yeah,
and hide in the shadows.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, that's a 4.
18 for me.
Mine's. It's okay. I'm not used to playing a rogue. That was a 20, so it's 13 plus stealth, which is 7.
Awesome. Okay. So, and then, sorry, Sintaris, what'd you roll? 18.
18
Sorry, there it is.
in the chat.
Great, chat. Okay, so what happens is, as you approach the wall, you all plan against stealth. You all shove yourselves up against the wall, try and get in the shadows as much as you can. And Sintaris, you shrink your slender elven form up against the wall and kind of slink in with the darkness to color your robes. Horban, you do the same thing, kind of, Lord of the Rings, and just cloaking yourself over, disguising yourself only as one of the rocks. Grynar, you attempt to do the same thing, but your showy dwarven armor clinks ever so loudly as you make your way over. You can just hear the chuk-chuk as you try to waddle over against the wall. So this goblin, you hear the footsteps stop. And all of a sudden this goblin goes, "What's it?" And he starts to creak over and he turns the corner and he sees you, Grynar. So everyone wants to go ahead and
Roll an ish.
yeah, roll initiative. Go ahead and put it in the chats, and I'll put the order up over here.
Nice.
Probably roll the goblins would be a good idea. Grynar, you ruined everything.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised. I thought I was being super stealthy, so I don't know how he would have possibly heard me.
Not the best initiative either. You're getting him out of the way now. It's okay.
Yeah.
All right, so that's gonna give us.
Did you roll for Sildar?
Very one. Oh yeah, we should probably roll for him too, huh? He may come in handy.
Yeah, I think we're gonna need him.
He doesn't come in handy.
All
Alright, so Corbin, well done.
18 plus 3. Just sort of reading up on the attacks and things.
Do you have a ranged attack?
I do, yeah.
No, that's good.
Yes.
Got a short bow that can shoot 80 feet.
Nice. That
Oh
should
no,
do
it
it.
can shoot up to 320 feet with advantage. Disadvantage.
Yeah.
Right.
Anything past 320, you're SOL.
Yeah.
All right. So first up, we will have Corbin, our resident rogue. You'll be first up. This goblin, he hasn't seen you yet. So if you quickly want to take a surprise round, and then you can take your initial turn because he hasn't spotted you.
Okay, so I'll just do a short bow attack.
Okay, and then you can roll it with advantage because it's surprised.
Okay. So
Excellent.
was
That would make it a sneak attack, wouldn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Or does that only work with melee?
Oh wait, yeah, I think you're right. It doesn't.
No, it should. I think sneak
yeah,
attack. was range.
short sword or short bow, as long as it's dexterity based.
Cool.
Any deck space.
Yeah. So
Well, if you
that
hit
was
him, you should
a-
probably take him out then.
That was a 16. Where would I find what? Because obviously they have a plus, don't they? Oh,
Yeah, your
short sword, short bow.
Plus
Plus
5. I think,
5,
is
so
your-
that's
It should be a D6 plus your dexterity, I think.
That's in chat. That's
And then plus another D6.
Ooh. And that was your better. You rolled with advantage because just in case you roll a crit, so you can roll another.
Yeah,
one.
yeah, that was with advantage.
Oh,
First
okay, Yeah. So go ahead and 4 damage.
No, that was the 2 rolls.
Oh, okay, yeah. Go ahead and roll
Yeah.
damage. I was like 4 damage. Whoa. That's not a lot. No, go ahead and roll damage for it.
And that's
Attack rolls. You guys don't have to put in the chat and stuff because they change so much. Everything.
Okay, so was that 2d6? Yeah.
2d6 plus 3, I think.
Yeah. So it's double because
Your short bow is going to be 1d6, and then your sneak attack is going to be 1d6.
So that was 7 for the 2d6s, then plus 3 for the first.
Yep.
Yeah, so it's total of 10 damage.
Oof. Go ahead and describe how you kill this goblin.
Headshot.
Yeah, well, obviously with it being from below, sort of just pop out the shadows, draw the bow, and the arrow sort of shoots up and through the neck.
Oof.
Just like
Like that.
pins it. Pins
Yeah,
his
it's
jaw
just-
too.
Kind of slumps over onto its knees and falls off the side of the bridge and starts slowly flowing down the stream towards the entrance to the cave. And that was the only one there, so you're out of initiative. So that was a good waste of initiative. If you guys got your bad rolls out of the way now. Yeah, that was the only guy there. So if you guys want to, you can make your way across the bridge. You can,
Yeah, as he kind of slumps down, I look back over and be like, "See, I surprised him by being so loud. He didn't even know you were there." You're welcome.
Good distraction.
Just sort of draw the cloak and carry on hiding.
Yeah, and then I guess we're heading across the bridge then. So if I remember correctly, there's kind of the river running below the bridge. Okay. So can we see anything upriver as I get to the top of the bridge?
As you get to the top, as you look a little bit up towards the, you can see it, Cliff. You can hear water kind of pulling. You can hear a couple voices, but you can't really see too far because of the way that the tunnel bends up ahead. It kind of bends to the right the way you're looking at it if you're looking up. But you can see the staircase below you. That if you would have stayed on the ground, that's a staircase you would have taken to get to those areas.
How far down is it?
20 feet.
Oh, yeah, that's a little too far.
As remember from last session, 10 feet was even a struggle for you, so
Yeah.
it's easy.
You don't want to make that jump.
Yeah, I think I would just kind of see if someone at the back wants to kind of keep an eye down that path and see if anything surprises us and just move up so we're not spreading out too much, but maybe put a little distance before us and see where the other side of the bridge goes.
Yeah, Horvin would sort of look and be like, yeah, sure. And keep an eye out while he's hopefully trying to maintain stealth.
Okay. And then Sintaris, Sildar is just kind of like waiting for you guys. He's like kind of still shocked at how quickly that combat just went, kind of still reeling from being awoken from his wounds.
All right. Well, I think Sintaris and Sildar will stick with Grynar.
Okay.
Moving
So we'll
forward.
push on. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm not
I'm not
going to
so
go
as you
too far ahead.
Go ahead.
I'm going to kind of keep within. At most, I'm going to be like 30 feet away from our rogue, so we can still like look down the tunnel and see each other. I don't know how far it goes.
Yeah. Just making sure stepping carefully to not trigger any traps.
Yeah.
Oh gosh. Okay. So as you approach through, it's not that far of a walk before these voices that you start to hear get louder. It's probably a good 15 feet of a tunnel, 20 feet. But it turns left suddenly, and as you open up into it, the cavern's filled with these two large pools of water. And a narrow waterfall is kind of high on the eastern side, kind of feeds into these two pools, which drain out the western end and into a chamber from the stream that kind of flows out the front of the cave there. There's these fieldstone walls kind of serve as dams for these two pools that you can tell were built by man, goblin. A wide exit stands to the south of it, which is where you guys are kind of the smaller passage to the southwest is where you guys are coming into it right now. The sound of the waterfall kind of echoes to the cave, making it difficult to hear, but as you approach, you can still hear a few voices in the area. If you want to roll perception checks, you can see what
How many does a few mean? Are we talking a few like 3, or is this a few there's like 15?
I guess you'll have to roll a perception to find out.
All right, here's my specialty. Okay.
Okay. Still close enough to the rogue first, I hope would tell you what he sees. And, Sintaris and Sildar can see it as well. There's 3 goblins in here. Who, upon your entering, they kind of look up and assume, kind of shocked. You kind of get that stare down for a second before the fighting starts. As they're like, you're not supposed to be here. And they kind of understand that you clearly made it past the goblin in Tunnel 5. So what they do is you see them pick up these giant stone hammers that are leaning against the dams, and 2 of them take off, running to that passage to the south, and the other one slams down the hammer on the rock and runs. And all of a sudden, the river just starts cruising toward you, ready to kind of wash you away.
Oh dear.
Does it look like there's a safe area that we can kind of like duck to the side in?
If you want to roll a what's it called? Dexterity. That's it. You can see if you can kind of dive out of the way.
No.
No.
Good God, Sean. Throw away those dice.
These are brand new as well.
These white ones, they're getting retired for the night. Can I get another set?
I'm currently using rainbow ones.
Let's go red.
Well, from what you just rolled, you might want to switch those two.
Well, I'm thinking about that. I'll go with black and red.
All right. So, as the river comes crashing, the water comes crashing towards you and kind of follows that stream-like thing that you guys opened up into. Everyone except Sintaris, you start to feel the pull of the water as you try to dive out of the way, but you can't find your footing, and you kind of flow into. So everyone except Sintaris, roll me a strength saving throw.
Strength.
Does this include Sildar as well?
Oh.
Yeah, Sildar has to roll it as well.
All right.
Oh.
That's not a good sound.
Yeah.
I hate that sound.
Just realised that it's a minus to the strength check, so.
Yes, for you little halfling it is. All right, so what happens is that you guys list your footing. Sintaris, you've nimbly climbed your way up and are holding on to this little nook at the top of the side of the wall as you see your compatriots, including Sildar, wash away down with the river. Who also, you guys all take four bludgeoning damage on your rocky ride down. And as you all land, you kind of come to and you're like sitting there thinking the river's swollen now from all the water that's been released, and you look around and realize you're at the mouth of the cave where you first came in.
Well, I kind of get up as quickly as I can and shake a little bit of water off, and well, that was kind of rude of them. Let's go repay the favor.
Sildar kind of looks at me and goes, I agree. I mean, Sintaris is there by himself. Who knows what's there?
Horvin obviously spitting dirty water out his mouth, being like, oh, they need payback.
Yes, I'd say especially once I noticed that
Oh, bless him.
one of us, I'd say once I noticed that one of us did not get washed down as well, so one of us is up alone, I'd start immediately running as fast as I can back up the cave to try and get back to where we were.
Yeah, so you guys are able to pretty easily sprint your way, knowing your way. You don't take the same path. You kind of run straight up the staircase to the side because it hasn't washed over that little side to the river yet. And Sintaris, you kind of, as the water dissipates and follows down this riverside, you drop yourself down to the floor, the splash of the water on your boots, and you see your party members coming up the stairs from a northwest entrance opposite the one you came in, wet, bruised.
Glad to see you guys are okay.
Thank you. A little bit wet, but we'll cope.
Yeah, I didn't get a shower last night, so figured I'd wash off a little bit.
Sildar kind of like jokingly, feeling comfortable, goes, from what I remember smelling, it was a lot more than just last night.
Listen, we've been on the road for a while. Okay, this happens on the trails.
You don't have to talk to me. I've been a goblin prisoner for a week, all right?
Are you guys feeling well enough to proceed?
Yeah, we should be fine.
I'll be fine.
Good.
All right. So you press on. The only other entrance you have is the one down there to the south. This kind of big opening. As you walk by, you notice a rock that's got some weird greenish red blood on it. The goblin who released the river did not move as quickly as he had hoped, and one of the other rocks that kind of rolled out of the way squished him on his way to try and run away. So you go by the dead goblin, but you can you only see one, and there were three. You can assume the other two escaped. The only other place you saw how.
So the only place we can go now, there's one opening basically.
So there's the one that you guys came in, kind of on the west, and then there's the one you guys came back in after you got washed away, which is northwest, and the only other one is the one to the south that you saw when you first came in.
Okay, can we see anything?
Which is where you saw the goblins kind of run into. So.
Yeah, can we see anything like looking through that opening?
Well, what you can see is are you walking like right up to it, or are you kind of like trying to peer from where you're at?
No, I'm definitely trying to stay a little bit further away, make sure I don't, I'm assuming there's something. If the goblins ran in there's got to be something. I'm kind of saying this to the party as well. There's got to be something in there more than just two goblins who ran in there. So, maybe the leader, forgetting the name, and kind of turn to Sildar and see if he can offer us the name if he remembers it.
He kind of Clark. Yes, it was Clark. I believe he was a bugbear.
Yes, I assume he's somewhere up there. If that's where the other goblins ran, probably ran to their leader for protection.
Okay, so as you kind of like try to peer around the corner, you don't want to get too far in. You can see that there's sacks and crates of all these looted provisions that are kind of piled up in the south end of the this large cave that you've walked into, or you kind of peered into. The west side, you can see the floor kind of slopes to a narrow opening that kind of resembles that narrow opening you saw when in the entrance where those three wolves were chained up, where all those like dead bones and stuff were kind of being thrown through. But right now it just descends into nothingness. There's nothing there anymore. The larger opening leads to the north, which is where the north side is where you guys are coming in right now, with a set of these natural stone steps, and the only other thing you can hear is the roar of the river that was just released, going through that narrow opening. In the middle of the cavern, there's coals from a large fire that's kind of smoldering there. Other than that, there's nothing else in the cave right now that you can see.
Can I roll maybe a perception check, see if there's any hidden traps?
Yes, go ahead
Tripwires
and roll a perception check. Okay. As far as you can see, no. There's no traps, no nothing that you can spot inside this cave.
Okay.
So I think what I'm going to try and do is not getting any closer, but I'm going to cast, just mutter to myself. You see me start muttering to myself, and I cast Thaumaturgy, kind of directed towards where that opening is. It looks like it might go down to where the wolves were. And I'm going to cast it kind of twice in quick succession. Once is to create some like kind of tremors, so it feels a little bit like a small earthquake. And then a few seconds after that, you hear coming right from there, it sounds like kind of a crack of lightning, and then a low rumble of thunder kind of rolls through. And the idea is just seeing if I can get, I'm assuming the goblins are in this cave somewhere, them to respond and possibly run that way versus running towards us. Maybe we can catch them unaware.
So you're trying to get them to run towards the crevice crack thing?
Yeah, I'm trying to get them to think maybe there's a cave-in happening or something. Basically just trying to distract them so that, if we go in guns blazing, they won't just have everything lined up at this door.
But that's no fun.
Yeah, having heard that, Horvin would probably just be like, whoa, what was that sort of thing? Like, looking around.
Okay. So this cave starts shaking. The little pieces of shale and slate and stuff from the roof start crumbling down a little bit, and you don't really hear much move, but you hear this little shuffle, almost like claws on the floor, and you see this you hear this little wince cry like a dog, and you see this wolf just go bolting towards the crevice because it knows that's the only way out towards the entrance, and start kind of digging away, trying to get the hole to be bigger.
So I think when that happens, I kind of look back over my shoulder at the party and say, well, what do you figure, now or never?
I think it's safe to say that we're not going to surprise them. I suspect that if there's anything in there, they know we're coming.
They'll be ready.
So I guess in that case, I step up a little bit. You see my hands mutter a little bit, and I pull out a little piece of parchment, and it kind of, as I mutter, it flickers away in my hands. And there's kind of like a shimmering around me, and I cast a Shield of Faith, which gives me 2 bonus AC. And then I kind of just step up to the opening, and figuring that we're not going to surprise them, decide to just forego stealth entirely, and with this shimmering around, step up and yell, "Clark, I challenge you."
Interesting approach. Go ahead and take a point of inspiration for that. That's not the recommended path. Behind the stalagmite that's kind of in there, you see this creature start to rise up. He's probably twice your size, Grynar. And in his hand, he's got this rough-hewn stick, but on the end of it's a bunch of metal spikes. It's a morning star in his hand, and a shield on the other arm. And he kind of steps out from behind a stalagmite. These 2 little goblins kind of shuffle in behind him. And he goes, "Who dares defy Clark?"
"I'm Grynar, and I challenge you for this cave."
"A fool's errand, but sport enough for me." And if everyone wants to go ahead and roll some initiative. Oh, doggy.
How does he? How armored does this bugbear look? Like, is he wearing armor, or?
He's wearing some hide armor, pierced, like kind of sewn together different things of animals from throughout the forest. And then he's got a shield and his morning star. But other than that, you don't really see much.
So he's got, he's not going to be the easiest to hit, but he's not like he's wearing full plate or anything crazy.
Yeah, it's a full plate bugbear just chilling out in a cave.
His leisure wear.
He's got the magical staff of death. All right, so 13, 12. Let's roll for Sildar. Good lord, Sildar, you suck. All right.
Typical NPC.
Well, good news is the goblin's stuck worse than Sildar. So.
That's good.
All right, so Clark will be starting it off here, unfortunately. Sorry, hold on. Okay. So what Clark does is he kind of shrugs his shoulders like he's prepping to get a big swing in there, and he walks right up to you, Grynar, and goes, "Shall we begin?" And takes a big swing with his morning star at you. And he rolls a 20, modified.
Oh, that's my AC. Exactly.
My God.
Modified 20. So it does hit you, said?
Yeah, 20 does hit.
Okay.
Nerds.
Don't kill me in one swing. That'll be great.
After you've already taken 4 damage from being washed away by the river.
Yes, and are the only one with any healing capabilities.
Oh, I lost my D8. There it is. Oh, that's right. Forgot about that little bugbear specialty there.
Sounded like too many dice.
Well, I mean,
Way too many
so sorry. To get out of roleplay a little bit, the bugbear is the morning star, which is 2d8 plus 2 if it hits.
Okay.
But they have a thing called Brute, where if they hit with a melee weapon, they get to do an extra die of weapon damage.
Morningstar's 2d8?
Yeah.
Well, his is.
Wow.
Yeah, so 2d8 plus 2, which he did 17 damage.
Oh.
Well,
he kind of comes to swing at you and just kind of crushes down on your shoulder.
Yeah, so he crushes down, and you just see me collapse, just like a sack of potatoes. Done. I mean, fortunately, I didn't die instantly, but you would
have come pretty close, I think.
Within 1 hit point.
Holy schmoly!
Is it double your hit points of what you've got or total?
Yeah, you have to go negative by what your hit point maximum is. So if you had 16 hit points and you went negative 16, then you're just dead.
Yeah, in this case, my max is 11, and I went to negative 10.
Oh.
Was
In
not
3.5, that would have killed you.
Was not expecting him to roll 3d8 on his damage.
Yeah, that's probably a reasonable expectation.
Or to hit my 20 AC.
Also a reasonable expectation. All right, so who's next? Jordan looks frozen.
He does look frozen.
I think he is.
So then actually what happens is I pop back up and kill him just with one swing. It's amazing.
Insta kill.
Well, I've got the stream on my TV to see how it's going, and it's just gone to the logo.
Yeah, he just messaged us. He said screen blacked out. Hold on. So he'll probably be hopping back in.
Oh no.
Yeah, I've currently only got 5 hit points.
Oh man, we're screwed.
I can heal us. I can heal if I'm, alive.
Or conscience.
I'm definitely going to be using a point of inspiration on my death save, though, because if I can get a 20 and pop back up, I'm going to be great.
Oh dear. So we've got this uber bugbear, a wolf, and probably at least 2 goblins from the chamber who fled, still to get through. And
the maximum I can do per hit is 9 on an actual max roll.
Oh, dead.
If someone's within 5 feet, you should get your sneak attack too. So you should pretty much always be doing 2d6 plus 3.
Oh, I didn't read that far down.
Yeah, if you have, as a rogue, if you have advantage, or if an ally is within 5 feet, you get that sneak attack dice added onto a hit.
If the target's within 5 feet and isn't incapacitated.
Right, yes, you don't get it now, because I'm lying on the floor in a crumpled heap, but, if I get up.
By some miracle.
Yeah, or you get it if you have advantage. So, if you're hidden and he doesn't know where you are, then you'd have advantage on the roll and would be able to kind of surprise him and get your sneak attack, which could do good damage.
So you should stick pretty close to Sildar. As the only other melee member of the party left standing.
Need to stick close by.
Mm. Oh dear. I might grab this opportunity to take a comfort break. I'll be right back. Oh, still no Jordan, huh?
No.
Oh, I think he's coming back.
So I had to mute my mic for a minute then. My baby's just come down from upstairs.
You back with us, Jordan?
Wait, the sound?
Trying. Hmm.
Could be the weather, maybe.
I don't know if he's got any weather up where he is. I mean, it could be.
I'm
Mike,
absolutely...
hold on, mic trouble. All right. So I'm guessing he can hear us, but is having trouble talking.
Oh, I didn't realise I had that ability either. I've got the ability Lucky. I could have rolled that on that saving throw.
Oh yeah, you get to reroll ones as a halfling, don't you?
Yeah, I can reroll ones on an attack ability or saving throw.
It's really useful.
It certainly would have been.
That's super useful when you have, like, if you're trying to hit like low AC targets, where you have like, especially when you're like 5th, 6th level, and you've got +9 to your attack, and they've got 8 AC, because it basically guarantees you can't miss. Because the only way to miss is to roll 2 ones in a row.
The rogue in the current campaign I play, he's got like +10 to initiative and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's crazy. And we're all level 9. We're about to hit level 10 in the next session.
Nice. Yeah, rogues can do that, and then they can get crazy, like, especially if they get expertise in it, can get like +15 to their stealth bonus, so they're basically invisible.
Well, one of the what was he ranger? The ranger in our party, he got given a wand of fireball by accident, and he used it on the leader of a thieves guild. He should have really realised that it was a dexterity saving throw, and he used it 4th level, which was like, I think it was like 10 d8 or whatever. It was a massive amount of damage. And he was like, yeah, we're surely going to kill it this time. Literally, the guy took no damage because he did is it uncanny dodge and stuff where you take no damage?
Oh, yeah.
And the ranger was like, well, I don't know what to do. And but that was like outside an inn in one of the major cities in the campaign. So like now that whole town is after the ranger and rogue of our party.
Nice.
They went full murder hobo, and I just jumped on a druid that had changed into an eagle and flew away.
Yeah, going all murder hobo works when you can pull it off, but if you get stopped, then it's just time to get out of dodge.
I never heard the term murder hobo until just recently.
Really?
Yeah, I'd never heard of it before, but it's cool. I like it.
Yeah, murder hobo is the classic D&D adventure. You just go around killing everything you see. You don't have home. You don't have a home. You don't do anything. You just wander and murder.
I played a one shot in. I joined a campaign with a friend, and ended up becoming just a one shot. And we played for like 6 or 7 hours. And it was basically we had to go to this like palace and sneak in. And I rolled up a rogue, and we rolled for stats, and I ended up with mainly 14s and 16s in everything.
Nice.
I was super lucky, like, and I went in and I took human variant.
Yep.
So I was able to take a feat as well, and basically I wandered into the one room and there was this noble stood there fully geared, and I took one shot and I did something like 56 points of damage and killed him instantly with my mace. And the DM was like, well, that was meant to be the boss fight, but you've beat him. But that was brilliant.
Yeah, that's kind of in my brain. That's how I envisioned this going. Was
Yes.
I'd be able to, because I've got a couple of spells that I can do a really good amount of damage with if they hit. And I've got inspiration, so I'm thinking if I use inspiration, I'll have advantage on the attack. I can get a good hit. I can do like 20 points of damage straight off and really hurt this guy, and then maybe tie him up while you guys finish him off. Nope. That's really not how it's been playing out so far.
I thought you'd be pretty sweet with your, what was it, Divine Armor or Shield of Faith?
Shield of Faith, yeah, because
Yeah.
I normally have 18 AC, and that gives me a bonus 2, so I had 20.
Yeah, I thought you'd be pretty turtly.
Yeah.
Have you guys watched Critical Role?
I've watched a little bit of it. I haven't been able to get into it. Part of it is because I'm like now however many episodes behind, and it's however many hundreds of hours that I'd have to watch to catch up.
Do you know Matt Mercier's like spellcasting rule for spellcasters and stuff?
I don't believe I do.
Well, basically, it's like you take your normal attack, but as a second attack, you can use a spell of level 2 or lower.
Okay.
And our DM lets us do that in our campaign at the moment. And I use Chromatic Orb once at 5th level and once at 2nd level. Obviously, 2nd level being my lowest. Oh, welcome back.
There you go, Jordan. You're back.
God. My other laptop just blacked out, shut down. And I have no idea why it happened.
Wow.
So I had to switch laptops.
Yeah, I don't see
I have
video.
no picture on this one.
Can hear you.
Yeah, I have no video on this one. The webcam's busted.
Oh.
It's my backup laptop. My studio microphone doesn't work on this one either, so
Nice.
that's why we're here. Jeez, that was a scary moment. All right. I was scrambling around. I was plugging stuff in. I could hear you guys. I'm like, does this one work?
Yeah, you heard us. So then,
No, I guess not. Does this one work?
Yeah. Then you know what happened was I went down, but it was a psych, and I got back up and then crit him. He died, and you just tell us what loot there is because we killed everything.
Yep.
No, skin dip and hand
This is the end of the game. This is it. You guys beat the game. You beat the video game.
You just look like a talking die. It's really funny.
I am a die god.
It's like every time you speak, we just see the die logo with the sound wave kind of radiating off of it. It's really funny.
I hate not having video. It sucks, but at least we can continue. And thank you for our 3 viewers who stuck with us. That's real classy. Good job. That's dedication.
Mad props.
Okay, so what did we? Clark just destroyed Grynar, right?
Yeah, I had stepped up, challenged him. He walked up, hit me in the face, and dropped me unconscious, and I am lying on the ground bleeding out at the moment. And I don't know where we're going.
Left your challenge, swatted you away.
Yes.
Oh, mercy.
All right, so that would be Clark's turn. This will bring us to Horvin in the order.
Okay, could I stabilize Clark?
Grynar.
Grynar. Would I be able to stabilize him?
Well,
All right, yeah, go
if
ahead.
you do that,
So
you're going
trying
to put
stabilize?
yourself in.
Yeah.
You're going to put yourself in Morningstar range.
Yeah, might be better to stay back and just start picking the guy off.
Okay, how far roughly would we be? Like, would there be room to move back a few feet, or maybe?
Yeah, because Grynar stepped up ahead of you guys to foolishly challenge Clark. And 10 feet behind Grynar. You're still in that doorway.
Okay, so what I'll do just a standard short bow attack then.
Okay, perfect.
No, it doesn't hit.
What'd you roll? I gotta know.
I rolled a 4 plus obviously its modifier, which isn't enough.
No, yeah, you got it.
Yeah, it's 9 in total.
Okay, yeah, that doesn't hit. So Clark just kind of like hears the arrow coming, just kind of doesn't even phase him, just flicks his shield up and bounces it off with his bugbear superhuman speed. So that will bring us. Do you want to move or anything?
No, I'll just stay where I am.
Okay, so then that will bring us to Sintaris.
Yeah.
Alrighty. I'm gonna back as far away as I conceivably can from Clark and cast magic missile.
Nice.
Guaranteed damage. I like it.
Whoops, hold on a sec. Got to adjust my dice rolling app here. All right, here we go. Oh, crud.
Love that sound as a DM.
7 damage.
7 damage.
Yeah.
Okay. So Clark is, he's very smug right now. He's very smug. Not smug. And all of a sudden, these balls of light just emit from this. You have a black robe, right?
Yes, today I'm wearing my black wizard's cowl.
All of a sudden, this black robed creature, these balls of light just emit and just come flying at him, and they just kind of blast in the chest. It's poof, poof. He kind of taken aback, and he has some singe marks, but it doesn't quite have the effect you were hoping for, Sintaris, and he just kind of shakes it off and gets ready to go at it again. Grynar, go ahead and roll one of your saves.
I will use a point of inspiration on this one because we'll try and make sure. So, 2 dice. Come on, I believe.
I have to say, Grynar, roll your death save too often. You need to fix that.
Can I get the camera on this? Can you
roll
see the
20?
dice?
Nice.
Nice.
Doesn't that mean you regain a hit point?
20.
He's stabilized. He's up.
Yeah.
Stabilize with 1 hit point. Yeah.
I have 1 hit point. I can't remember. I don't get to take my turn though, do I? That death save happens at the end of the turn, correct?
The death save, yeah, it is your turn. I can't remember if you get to move or not. I know you can't take an action.
Right. Okay. So I'm probably just, I have 1 hit point, but I'm still lying on the ground, looking like I'm dead.
Yeah, I would suggest you stay still.
Sildar, who clearly has taken a liking to you, Grynar, or else he wouldn't have joked with you. He steps up, as on is the aura of light that Sintaris cast on him. He kind of steps up in between you and Clark and just goes to stab his short sword into Clark.
Strike true, Sildar.
I should probably have the stats for a short sword.
Well, it's a 1d6.
It's a +4 to hit, right? Sildar rolled a 12. Bugbear's AC is 16.
Nice.
All right, so so Sildar takes it and he slinks it in there, and it's a d6 +2. More damage. He just shoves this thing in. Still shaking. It kind of hits the 5. Clark, who lets out a little as blood starts pouring out.
Nice.
And that'll bring us to the. So the goblins just watched this the dwarf crumble. Their leader take a few hits. The dwarf got back up, and the leader took a few more hits. So what they're going to do is they're going to pull out their bows and back up a little bit, and they're going to fire a shot at the magicka.
Uh-oh.
One of them is.
Fingers crossed.
It's a 19 hit.
Yeah. With authority.
They only did 5 damage.
Ooh,
As this
dear.
arrow kind of like grazes off your shoulder, leaves a good gash, but doesn't stick.
Now, unfortunately, I think I have to make a concentration check.
Oh,
for
maintaining.
maintaining.
That's right.
Yeah. So.
Oh boy. You're gonna kill
Yeah,
Sildar.
Oh, for crying out loud.
Should be 10 or half the damage taken, I think, right?
Whichever is higher. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I failed. So the mage armor is gone.
Yeah, so Sildar kind of like gets this crap look as the light just kind of starts descending. You see it go past his head, past his chest, past his knees, and all of a sudden it's gone.
Oh,
And
man.
he's just like kind of looks back and like, can you do anything? Something?
I point to the arrow sticking out of my shoulder and
Well, no, it didn't stick. You're lucky there. It just left a good gash in your arm as it went by.
okay.
But the other one, at Grynar, who just stood up because he's a little back and to the right of Clark, and he thinks that what?
I'm still on the ground.
Oh, you're still laying on the ground.
Yeah, basically.
He'll take it with disadvantage.
I gained a hit point, but I didn't move.
Because he thinks what's dead should stay dead.
I mean,
and he assumed you were dead.
He's not wrong.
But he rolled a 14.
That misses.
So he's kind of like, still haze, looking around, light shooting all over the place, swords, light going out. He just lets the arrow loose, and it kind of just shivers above your head as you're laying on the ground. That'll bring us back up to Clark. Man, that's a really sucky end of the initiative. Sildar goblins back up to Clark. Clark is going to take a good swipe at Sildar, who is standing in front of him and now has an AC of 10.
Should be 10 plus dex. But I guess he
doesn't have any dex.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Come on.
He hits.
Okay, well, Sildar was fun to have for a while.
That's right, because don't forget he's rolled 3d8 when he hits. Oh, where was this when I was attacking you, Grynar? He does 12 damage to Sildar. So Sildar takes the good Morning Star to the side, just into his rib cage. You feel a human pop, and blood starts to come out. But in Sildar's eyes as he remains standing and ready to go.
Oh, nice.
That will bring us to Orban.
Okay. Horvin would sort of just, obviously, because I was close to the magic, be like, wow, that arrow could have hit him, and would go for the goblin that just attacked the caster.
Okay, so yeah, that's the one to the. If you're facing him, that's back and to the right of Clark.
Yeah.
So go ahead and pop a shot.
Okay, so that's 17 plus 5, so 22.
Yeah, 17 will hit on its own, so you're good.
Is there? No, there's not a ally within 5 feet, is there?
Yeah, still. Sintaris is still behind you because you guys kind of stayed at the entrance. You didn't really rush in.
So does that no within 5 feet of the goblin? Is there one within 5 feet of the goblin?
Clark. A triangle formation, so it's Clark, and then if you go back 5 feet diagonally, kind of.
So I'd get the
is where the two goblins are.
I'd get the extra d6 then, yeah. Okay. Kind of put the other one away. There we are. Oh, that is 6 plus 3, so that's 9 points of damage to that goblin.
All right, and as I like to do with all of my players, go ahead and describe how you kill this goblin.
Okay. After seeing him just attack the fellow party member, I just draw my bow, aim straight for the throat, and let it go, and hope for the best. Hopefully it does pierce the throat, and it does, and he kind of slumps over.
Beautiful. Well done. There's only 2 left now. Cleric, who's taking some serious damage as we come around to Sintaris.
Okay. I think we should focus down on Clark, so I'm going to try and Ray of Frost him. After moving in whatever way I need to make sure I have a clear line of sight.
In the center of the doorway right now, so all you have to do is move a little to the left, and you're looking straight at him because Grynar ran in and just stood there and waited. So you're directly in line of sight.
All right, here we go. Nuts. 10 won't hit, unfortunately.
Actually, it does, and so as Clark sees this frost start to creep towards him on the ground, he kind of just takes the round end of his shield and shoves it down and breaks it, and it doesn't creep any farther.
Oh, God.
And that'll bring us to Grynar.
All right, so I'm kind of
You've got
lying on the
Sildar
ground.
in front of you. So.
Yeah, I'm kind of lying on the ground. Like I'm within reach of him, right? Of
yeah.
Clark. Okay. So I think trying to be a little sneaky, because I'm not sure if he knows I'm alive still or not, but trying to be sneaky, I just reach out a hand, trying to grab his ankle and cast inflict wounds for 2 plus 5, 17. Does that hit?
17. Yeah, that does. He has a 16 is what you're looking to beat.
Okay, and that is inflict wounds. Nice. That's a good one. 3d10. Get wrecked.
Holy cow.
Nice.
And we're all sitting here like 3d8. That's obnoxious.
Well, yeah, but I can do that twice per long rest.
That's like an early level blight.
3, 2, 2. Oh, that's not good. It's 3d10, and I rolled 7.
Come on, that was your chance to kill Clark.
I know. Well,
Get
whatever.
your
It's some
revenge.
damage. So I kind of like
So you rolled 7.
sneakily try and
7
grab his ankle, hoping it would be able to kill him. And then when I realize it's not, I'm just kind of like I just stand up as quick as I can and bring my shield ready to get hit in the face again.
You said it was 7 damage you dealt.
7 damage, correct.
So yeah, so you kind of touch the ankle and he feels it and he starts to start breathing heavy. This yellow pussy gash starts to open up on his calf and crawl up his leg until you release your hand as it just stops above his knee.
Gross.
So he's bleeding out of his gut from where Sildar stabbed him. He's got this giant wound running up his leg and he's got some burn marks from where he's been hit by this magic missile, but he is still standing. And that's going to bring us to Sildar, who
Bring it home, Sildar.
goes to take a swipe at the wound that's just opened up on Clark's right leg. With the short sword that will hit. Go
Yes.
Sildar.
Come on.
Sildar takes it and shuts it and goes to give this big swipe. The pus pop and the blood start to spew out as just below the knee breaks and falls, and so he's kind of like balancing himself, and he's brutal right now. He is not looking good.
Just be hopes
that'll
don't fall on.
Bring us to the goblin who sees this starting to fall, and he goes up and he leans against Sildar's right side to balance him out, and rolling with disadvantage kind of tries to, while he's doing this, at Horvin. Oh, does a 10 hit you?
It doesn't.
Oh God, I hope not. That's good. Okay. So yeah, he's doing this. He's kind of like he's got this giant bugbear, probably a good 2 feet taller than he is, and he's trying to shoot. and the arrow just kind of wavers to the left of your head. You can feel the whisk your hair, which will bring us back around to Clark, who is going to take a good swipe again at Sildar, who has been the bane of his existence for this fight.
Thank goodness for Sildar.
I'm busy taunting him the entire time. Just couldn't keep me down. Now you're gonna go after him. I see how it is.
So
from behind the shield just to go.
I just laugh because Clark rolled a natural 1.
Nice.
Because of my taunt.
Take another swipe at Sildar, and he just starts to swing down as hard as he can, and still kind of off balance. He comes down to the right of Sildar, but the Morning Star keeps going, and it just slams into this goblin that's trying to stabilize him. And you see this goblin go flying into the back of the cave and smash like a bug against the cave wall. Which, if you didn't guess, kills the other goblin. And that'll bring us to Horvin.
Okay, seeing all this happening, whilst laughing, going to do a short bow attack.
Do it.
That is 16.
That's perfect. That's exactly what you needed.
Total damage is 4 plus 3, so 7.
Well, all you needed was 1, so
Oh wow!
go ahead and describe how you killed Big Boss Clark.
I just aim for his other knee to bring him down to the ground.
So as
So,
you
like,
do
so
it,
just-
and he's kind of like hits him in the kneecap of his left leg, and he's, you know, like the troll when it gets the wand shoved up its nose in Harry Potter, just kind of wavering there until he just kind of slumps over and falls. We are out of initiative. Everyone's dead. There, a dead goblin over there, and one splattered against the back wall.
Courtesy of his own master.
So I'm barely standing at this point, but as he drops down, I kind of look back at the party, like, see, the challenge worked. We own this cave now.
Good plan.
And then Sildar kind of bucks up and goes, "Good timing, but what about the..." And he stops as he looks over and goes, "Never mind," because he sees the tail of the wolf finally get out of the crevice, and he's gone out of the cave.
He was completely forgot about that wolf.
Yeah, wouldn't have been good for him to come in the middle of the fight.
So I'm like,
Thankfully, the wolf forgot about us too.
Yeah, he did. So that's it. So you guys are out of initiative. You guys can RP it up in this giant room.
So
Only thing left is the fire.
Yeah, what do we see?
Pile
Like,
of supplies.
is there stuff? I mean, if he was the leader and they captured Gundren, you didn't say we saw Gundren around, but do we see like Sildar or Gundren's armor or anything like that? Does it look like belongings that were taken from them?
Kind of rummaging through boxes, like, "Oh, please be here, please be here, please be here." And the only thing he's finding is the bulky boxes. You know, you guys will need a wagon to transport anything.
We have a wagon.
Luckily, you have a wagon parked outside.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Probably double parked by now, but you know.
We might have a ticket. It's fine.
Just a scroll on the horse's head.
But no, he doesn't find anything, and he goes, "Blast! They must have taken my things to this black spider." There is one thing though that you can spot. All of you, whoever wants to go open it, is a chest that's very rough hewn wood. Looks like it was probably taken from another traveler who was unlucky enough to stumble into the cave. It does not look like it belongs with the other provisions.
Oh,
Yeah.
by all means.
Yeah, for sure.
So as you, who wants to pop it open?
I would probably defer to our NC Rogue because he's, I would assume, fairly sleight of hand if there's any traps or anything.
Yeah, Horvin would be very anxious to get there first.
Grynar's probably just sitting there thinking, like, knowing my luck, it's probably a mimic, and just like, you do it.
I'm staying as far away from traps as I can.
Yeah, I suggest you fart
so
on the
Horvin, you
chest
walk up
before
to
you
the
open it.
chest.
Okay.
Sorry,
Can I inspect it first?
Yeah. If you want to go ahead and roll a perception, you can give her a good look-see.
That's a 13 because it's got no bonus.
Yeah, that's perfectly fine. There's nothing wrong with it. It just looks old and worn and tattered. A few maggot and not maggot, termite holes in it. But you go to open it. You know, the Zelda music starts playing as you go to open it. I'm just kidding. No, but you open the chest, and inside you find a slew of silver and copper pieces, about 600 copper and 110 silver, flow throughout the chest. And in there, you can see items that aren't coin. You pull out this jade statuette of a frog with these tiny little gold orbs for the eyes, which are worth 40 gold pieces each. You probably know that from your fencing. And there's also 2 potions of healing.
Ooh. Those would come in handy.
Does that frog statue does it seem magical, or I guess I'd be looking at it from 1, is it magic, or 2, does it have any like religious significance, or is it just a fancy piece of art?
You want to roll me an Arcana?
How much
or religion, whichever one you want.
600 copper and how much silver?
110 silver.
110. Okay.
Yeah, that's in chat.
Nice.
Right, so yeah, you notice and you're like, kind of look at it as Horvin's pulling it out. It's just art. The goblins might have worshipped some kind of frog being, but it's not any significance to you. It doesn't have any aura, any arcana that's giving off.
It's Hypnotoad.
Hypnotoad. Well, you're the one who picked it up, so that's your problem.
Yeah, just stood there eerily staring at this frog line. Okay.
Oh, however you guys want to distribute it, Horvin is in charge of all that stuff. He has it all, so however he wants to distribute it, that's on him.
Horvin would instantly pocket the frog, sort of thing. Copper, money-wise, it'd divide evenly between the group, and potions he'd just put in his bag for later use.
Has Clark got anything good on him?
Clark, no. He, you can assume he probably shoved everything he found or took from these goblins into this chest.
I'm going to give Sildar a nudge and say, you might want to pick up that that morning star he's got. Looks a lot better than my short sword.
Yeah, and as you nudge him, he kind of goes, ugh, because you nudged him where the morning star hit him in the ribs. He goes,
sorry.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. But you're still probably right. And he kind of, in one hand, does this cool little twirl so that the hilt of the sword is now facing you, Sintaris, to offer it back and be like, I wouldn't be standing here if it wasn't for this.
And I probably wouldn't be standing here if it wasn't for you.
Well,
so thanks very much.
That was our bargain.
I clean off the short sword, which probably has bugbear blood all over it now. Not that I'm ever going to use it.
Say that 10 times fast. Bugbear blood, bugbear blood.
Yeah. No, I don't think I'm going to try that again.
No, so he goes and he picks up the morning star and goes, well, this will be fun. I know what this can do. And he lets it, just hangs off his little belt that he's got around his little prisoner's tunic and goes, well, if we're done here, we should press on. My contact, Yarrow, the wizard, Phandalin, he'll know what to do. How did you come here? How did you arrive? Do you have a wagon? Do you have a horse? Do you have both?
We do have an ox cart.
Oxen, noble beast.
This won't be the fastest, but it will get us there.
He goes, well, if we can carry these, I recognize this sigil on these supply crates. It's the Lion Shield Coster. Very fine supplier, very, very prestigious. And he's set up a shop in the settlement of Phandalin. I'm sure he would if he brought back his stolen goods. I'm sure he's wondering where they are.
Good idea.
Yeah, I nod, and yes, the least we can do at this point is to give someone their goods back.
So you guys
Hold on.
make your way happily out of the cave. Smug grins, goblin blood splattered all over. The river running a little thicker than normal from where it was released on everything. But you make it out and you shove your provisions up there.
Whilst walking out, Hoven would hand over 200 copper and 36 silver to each of the party. I'm guessing there's the three of us, isn't there? Or is there four?
There will be a fourth.
Ripped is recuperating from whatever he's got back in the cave.
I've done
his
it between
revenge
the,
or
yeah,
something.
I've done it between the three that was there, so I'd hand
that's fine.
36 over.
So you guys can pocket all that as you're riding. Whoever wants to drive, someone does have to drive
I'll drive again.
the cart. Okay. All right. So put that back in there. Sildar will pop up next to you. He's kind of taking a liking to you, Sintaris. Chatting it up while your guys are riding through the woods, pointing you in directions, quickest ways to Phandalin.
Excellent.
And that's the trip up there is where we will use our break, our official break, not the unofficial one we had earlier. But it was official break. So go ahead, bathroom it up, water it up. One thing to keep in mind, you guys are going to be level 2 when we come back. So if you want to adjust your character sheets accordingly.
Sweet.
Great.
And we'll come back in like 5 minutes. To our viewers, I apologize about the mix up there. Computer completely died, but we will be back, and I appreciate you all sticking with us there. So I'll see you in a few.
Cool.
All right. So, Jason, welcome back.
Hey.
There we go.
And Thomas, welcome back. So, Thomas, first experience live Tabletop Dads. How you going?
Yeah, all right. Getting used to obviously the whole melee combat sort of stuff. Obviously,
You never played a melee character, right?
no, literally, I NPC'd. Well, NPC'd. I played our rogue the other day in our group when he was unable to attend, and obviously it was just a couple of short bow attacks and then into non-initiative. So obviously we just got dragged along with party, but yeah, it's good. I like it. It's enjoyable. It's different, obviously, to playing a full-blown level 9 wizard.
Very much is. Very much is. No, I mean it's going well. I can't believe I forgot the wolf was there.
It completely skipped my mind.
I think we're all grateful that you did.
Yeah, Clark was. I was like, holy crap, Clark! You just dealt a whole crap ton of damage. I didn't expect him to like decimate people like that.
I suppose that's the joys of certain things, though. They do surprise you, even the DM sometimes.
And that's how you know you've got a good game.
Exactly.
Like I even have the wolf's name written down up here on the thing.
Brilliant.
DM newbie. All right, so I think we're at 5 viewers. It's pretty good. That's our height right now. So thank you everyone for watching. You see Rory from RP Geography is in the chat. Good buddy. I've played in a few of his games. He's got some awesome setting of Brescia, which he's starting a multi-campaign session of. So you guys have to check that out. It's a lot of fun. I'll be playing in that.
Cool.
So we're
Yeah,
level 2 now, correct?
Yeah, you guys are all level 2. So adjust your.
So the big question I have: do I roll for HP or do I take the base?
I'm not the right person to ask. I usually roll, but it's not always my friend.
Yeah, no, it's definitely, statistically speaking, it's better to take the average by a half point per level. But I mean, we're playing D&D. Why aren't we rolling dice?
It's all about
exactly.
dice.
All right, let's do. I'm rolling.
With this rogue, because obviously I'm doing the level 2, I'm just putting it into a sheet now so I can do the inventory. What would be the subclass of it?
Your full class?
Yeah, because it's rogue, and then obviously you get subclasses, don't you, as you level up? So like you've obviously got arcane trickster.
All right, that's not the worst.
Because reading through this, it doesn't actually say whether it's got a subclass or not.
Yeah.
I don't think yours has a subclass. I don't think a rogue does.
Because you've got arcane trickster, assassin, inquisitive, mastermind, scout, swashbuckler, thief.
Oh, you're talking about like the background?
No, the background's obviously criminal. But rogues have subclasses as well, like archetypes. So like there's certain specialities let them do certain things.
Right. I remember that. I don't think you get one.
I think it's 3rd level, isn't it? 4 plus 2 plus 1.
Sheet should have everything on it, so I'm assuming rogues don't. Subclass.
All right, so the roll didn't turn out too bad. I only lost, quote unquote, lost 1 HP by rolling, so that's not the worst.
Let me.
And I get a new spell.
You get Channel Divinity.
Yeah, I get Channel Divinity, and I get 1 more spell on my list too. What should I use?
Hit up D&D Beyond. It is good as a compendium, but other than that, it's gonna be too expensive once they.
Yeah, loads of people have been going absolutely crazy over the amount that they want to charge.
Yeah, though I think.
Well, then they're going to charge for like a special feature, and then they're going to charge you for the published adventures, and then they're going to charge you for the source books.
The worst part for me is that I have all of the physical books, all of the adventures. I have them in hard print sitting in my cabinet. So it's like, do I want to spend the money again to buy them digitally? That seems like a ripoff.
Yeah,
huge ripoff. Well, you have all of them except for one that I still have to mail back to you.
Oh yeah, you have Storm King Thunder, don't you?
Yeah,
That's right.
I do.
What should I have? What is command?
Hold on, Thomas. I'm just kind of searching to see because I think you're right. I do remember everyone's subclassing. Rogue. Oh right, yeah. I think you can archetype as a thief as a rogue.
Yeah, you can. Yeah.
That's it. Yeah.
I bought a character sheet. I don't know if you've seen it on the DM's Guild. It's like a fully automated one. It's really good for filling stuff in and stuff like that. You put your stats in, you put your race, class, and things, and it like puts all your abilities and stuff like that in for you. So like you don't miss out on anything. It's absolutely amazing. I suggest picking it up for anyone that's like filling in character sheets for yourself or anyone else. Really, it's absolutely brilliant.
I love the 4 unfillable ones. I usually print those out when I play physical games. Fill them out online. It's just nicer, and you can fit everything too. So.
All right, we're going sanctuary.
Oh, nice. I rolled dice for health and I got 7. So.
Oh, nice.
Nice. Like flat 7, even without the modifier.
There's a modifier.
Yeah,
you get your-
Well, you can add your constitution.
Yeah, your con modifier.
So
So
8.
you get to add 1. Yeah, so 8. I sit down, so you're at 17.
Yeah.
Gloriously done. What about you, Sintaris, our glass cannon? How you holding out now?
I rolled a 5 with a +2 con for 7.
Not bad.
Not bad. That's not too bad. For a wizard.
You're a D6. Right?
I'm sorry, what?
Your hit die is a D6, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, so 5 is great. Yeah, I had a 4 on a D8, so slightly below average, but not really bad.
Well, you've got the armor.
Everyone leveled up?
Yeah, I think so.
I'm just going to work off the sheet I've got for now because I only get a bonus action which you can use for a dash, hide, or another dexterity-based thing. So it's not like you get a lot.
Yeah, you can disengage, dash,
Disengage, that's it.
or hide as a bonus action.
Is it like it's called cunning movements?
Yeah, that's really powerful.
Yeah.
Because it lets you you can hide and then take an action to shoot someone from stealth on one turn.
Spot on. Which is sneak
Get
attack.
that advantage. Yeah, level 2 things really start to open up, even with these pre-gen characters.
Are these the characters that you get in the starting edition?
Yeah. So we're playing the starter edition. For anyone watching doesn't know, starter set. And these are the pre-gen characters that come with it. The only thing these people have to do is figure out how they're going to play them and give them a name.
I didn't realize I've got not in that folder. I've actually got the sheets.
Oh, you got the yeah, that's what I have too. Is a starter box. So I have all your sheets sitting in front of me.
So I can grab the sheet now, and then I don't have to keep going like this all the time.
All right. So.
Human, dwarf, halfling. There we are. Brilliant. Spot on.
All right.
There we are.
Everybody's set.
Yeah.
Sintaris, you got all your spells and whatnot.
Yes, I'm taking Thunder Wave and Color Spray
Very nice.
to add to my spell book, and I'm going to prepare Mage Armor, Magic Missile, Shield, Color Spray, and
Color Spray.
Yeah, and Burning Hands.
I love Burning Hands.
So are you just using the standard spells? Or are you using because obviously the spell list that I've got for say a wizard or a cleric is a compendium of elemental evil and stuff?
Yeah, so I've started off with some spells that they've obviously assigned to me, but when I level up, I can add 2 spells to my spell book. So I've actually gone to the player's handbook for that.
Cool.
And I hope I've chosen wisely. Time will tell. Got to put the wizard's cowl back up.
I don't actually own a hoodie right now, so I can't put a rogue hood up. I don't think a rogue would look right in a brown suede jacket.
Depends what kind of rogue you play.
A nonchalant 70s rogue.
All right. Little Hugh Hefner rogue, kind of going on there. All right, so you've been riding, and this rutted track that you've been on kind of emerges from a wooded hillside. Sintaris, you've been getting directions from Sildar is the best way there, as he's cleaning off the bugbear stench from his morning star. And I think I just broke my computer charger.
Oh,
That's not good.
Oh, here we go. I stepped on the thing and it pulled it out of the wall, and the bottom prong bent, but that's just the grounding one, so we're good. Okay. So as you come out of this hillside, you catch your first glimpse of Phandalin. You struggled so hard to get here and fulfill your end of the bargain. The town, it consists of about 40 or 50 simple log buildings, some built on little fieldstone foundations. A lot of old ruins, crumbling stone walls, ivy and all that stuff kind of creeping along all over the place. And they surround the newer houses and shops, showing how it probably was a larger town in centuries past. But most of the newer buildings are set on the sides of the cart track so they can catch the traffic, and which widens into a muddy main street of buildings and manor houses. It climbs towards this ruined manor house on a hill on the east side. As you pull a little closer, you can see children playing on the town. Townsfolk arguing back and forth, bartering. People look at you as you come up, but then they go back to their business. Sildar, obviously pretty tense at their situation. He seems a little more at ease now. He goes, "My friends," he says. He goes, "Let's secure lodgings. I'm told the local inn. It's very quaint, very fine."
Sounds good. I could use a drink.
Couldn't we all? And with that, he doesn't even tell you to stop. He just kind of hops down, a little pep in his step off of the cart, and makes his way over to a certain part of town. Obviously knows his way around. And you guys are kind of cruising along.
Yeah, I probably what I try and do is drop back a little bit so I'm close to the party and kind of whisper to them a little bit. And this is actually in my background. Kind of whisper to them, like, keep an eye out. I've heard the group calling themselves the Red Brands that have been making trouble around here. Kind of a band of mercenary thugs who seem to take a liking to the town. I was told there was a certain gentleman in town who wanted help getting rid of them, but at the very least, we need to be aware and watch our steps so we don't get into any undue trouble.
Understood. Sound advice.
Okay, so where do you guys want to head? Kind of just cruising along the main cart trail right now.
Well, we should probably make our delivery.
Yeah, I would say let's make our delivery, and maybe making our delivery gets us a nice room at the inn instead of having to pay for it. Maybe they'll be generous. So,
since you've picked up that stuff out of Clark's little cave, you have 2 places you can go to make your deliveries. You can go to Barthen's Provisions, which is originally where Gundren had sent you. That's what was originally in the cart. And you also have the boxes and stuff that Sildar told you belonged to the Lion Shield Coster.
I would definitely suggest going to Barthen's Provisions. Just say, you know, this was our assigned task. We should complete it first.
Yeah.
I agree.
Couldn't agree more.
Okay. All right. So you come in and you know, off the Tribord Trail, finally behind you, and you see Barthen's Provisions, the sign kind of hanging there, creaking in the door, on the left. So you pull up there and stop the cart in front. I'll let you kind of go from there.
So
Or
just like
sort
a
of just
front
hop over the
door?
side.
Pardon? I missed it.
Said Horvin would just sort of like hop over the side and start. Maybe just wait for others to get off.
Yeah, so there used to there's like just a front door to this place, basically.
Yeah, it's kind of like a double door. I don't want to say it's similar to like an old Western saloon where you picture the guy just swinging the doors in and walking in, but they're actually like full-size doors.
Okay. Yeah, so I'd probably just walk up. Before I push the doors open, I would start just saying greetings, and then kind of like walk in as I'm saying it.
Yeah, you the proprietor, you kind of hear this. Oh, okay. Hello, yes. What can I get you for? He kind of walks his way back behind the counter. Wasn't expecting people to come in.
I'd say I am Grynar. I'm here with some of my fellow travelers. We were sent here by Gundren Rockseeker to deliver some supplies. We have them out front. Do you have a place where we can unload them?
Ah, yes, Gundren's delivery. I was wondering when he would arrive. Is Gundren out front? I do have something to discuss with him. You can take the cart around back.
I kind of wince a little bit as he says that, and well, we can take the cart around back, but there's kind of a little complication with Gundren. He was ambushed on the way. We're not quite sure where he is.
I see, and he kind of looks down a little bit, slows his pace as he's walking towards you. It was sad to hear. I consider Gundren a friend. He's one of the kindest dwarfs I've ever met. Meaning no offense to yourself, sir.
And I couldn't agree more. He's more than a friend to me. He's family.
I figured, and I didn't know if it was rude to say something, but you've got his nose.
Heard that a lot.
Horvin sniggers.
Oh, didn't nearly see you there, little one.
I tried to stay out of sight.
You don't see many halflings around these parts, so staying out of sight might be a little bit troublesome for you if you're spotted.
That's fine. I can deal with most people.
Yes. Well, I'm sure Gundren's brothers will be disappointed. Nundro and Tharden, I'm sure you know them, sir. They're camped somewhere outside town, and Barthen hasn't seen them in a 10-day. He expects them to return. I expect them to return any day now and resupply. They frequent my shop whenever they stop through town. But yeah, they've looking through. They've discovered something big, something important.
Yes, I've heard. Gundren told me a little, not a lot, but a little, enough to entice me away from the monastery.
He kind of winks at you as he nudges you a little bit. Oh, I bet so. Well, yeah, if you want to bring the cart around back there with your driver there, have him bring it around back.
Will do.
But I go back to the door and kind of yell out the door and say, kind of point around the back. And once around back, we can unload it there.
All right. Yeah.
And as he sees it right away, he goes, good. Oh, yes, your promised price. And he kind of goes back behind the counter, shuffles around a little bit below there, and gives you a bag containing gold pieces, 10 for each of you. And he goes, as promised.
Yeah, so if he hands it to me, I would just kind of immediately open it and toss as soon as I see whoever, each party member, I would just hand them the 10 gold.
Thank you.
He's like, well, if you're going to be in town a while, I suggest you head over to the Stonehill Inn. They have fine little rooms there, but be careful who you talk to. The Red Brands, they're making it very hard on everyone. Business has been a little slow, shaking everyone down, and flouting the
Yes,
town master's authority.
I've heard rumors of that.
Yes. Well, I would stay clear of the Sleeping Giant tap house. That is where they frequent. The Stonehill Inn. That's what you want.
Keep that
Good
in mind.
advice.
We may not stay clear of it for very long. These red brands may not be long for this town, but for now, at least, we will get a good night's sleep. And I believe we do need to find Gundren. The goblins may have taken him somewhere.
Ugh. Blasted goblins.
Given the unsavory element in this town, gentlemen, I suggest we make our next delivery. I'm very anxious about having all these goods in our cart, with the undesirable element abounding.
He goes, "Oh, next delivery. You guys got some more goods to offload there?"
Yes,
As you
things
can
found
see
in
from
a
our
cave.
cart.
Yes, I was assuming that was a little more than what I'd ordered. Mind if I ask where they're headed?
They are headed to the Lion Shield Coster.
Off the Coster linen. Oh, fine, fine people over there. Well, yes, actually, if you just head straight up the trail there, you'll run right into it. But if you'll excuse me, I'll have to go sort through my goods and get things on the shelf for those few people that can afford whatever the Red Wrens let them have.
Horvin would just pipe up a little bit and say, "Do you know the name of the maybe head thief of these thugs that are in town?"
Oh, their leader. Not sure of his name. Known around here as Glassstaff. And he kind of nudges you again, Grynar, and goes, "Let's hope he breaks as easy as glass, eh?"
Oh, glass. Okay.
Would you happen
Okay.
to know the direction that I would find Sister Gareli's house?
Sister Gareli. Trying to think here.
At the name, I kind of perk up and what is she, a priestess? And the name like sister, it sounds like she may be at a shrine or a temple of some kind. I would be interested in what you have available in town.
And he kind of perks up as he hears the shrine. Ah, yes! Sister Graella. Well, keep heading on there towards the Lion Shield Coster, and as you get to the big opening, you'll take a right. You'll see the Shrine of Luck there, good sir, and he looks at Grynar. Just to the right of that, to the left if you're looking at it. Her house is right there.
Much obliged.
Anytime. It's the least I can do.
Well, if you'll excuse us, we do have another delivery to make. I suggest, gentlemen, that we go do that.
I couldn't agree more.
Very well. So yeah, I think we head towards the Coster, and then we'll see. I guess if we head past the shrine or whatever, if you want to hop off and talk to her, or if we're just going to stop everyone there.
Happy to make the delivery first and then go back. Like I say, I'm quite anxious having these goods with us when there's such an undesirable element in the town.
I agree. Well, yeah, I guess we head to the Coster then, and
Okay.
probably the same thing. Just
So you head
kind of
straight to...
head in the front
Yeah,
door
just
if there's one there.
Yeah. So yeah, you pull up to it, and it opens up in a big thing as you kind of get through your little snake your way through the buildings and the main trail there. You kind of open up into this big square. You can see the town green up there, this kind of open area. You do see a little stone alcove that you, Grynar, would immediately recognize as the Shrine of Luck on your right. And just across the circle is the Lion Shield Coster. And hanging above the front door is a sign shaped like a wooden shield. It has a little blue lion painted on it. It's a very modest building. And you walk in the front door, and just standing behind the counter, just waiting, was another humanoid just looking at you. Kind of goes, "Hello there."
Am I the first one in again, or did one of you guys decide to take the lead this time?
I think I should probably stick with the cart, just to make sure that no sticky fingers pilfer anything from it.
I just sort of like skulking in with you, like trying as a bodyguard.
Okay. Yeah. So then I kind of do the same thing. But walk in, same thing I did before. Just walk in and greetings. We were told to come see you. We have some goods. I think that maybe you were missing or didn't make it here.
And you see her kind of perk up. She looks about probably mid-late 30s. Kind of perks up and goes, "You found my things?"
Well, I'm not sure if they're your things or not, but they have they have your emblem on them, so I assume that they're yours. I'm not really sure what it is. It's just several crates. We were ambushed on the way, and well, let's just say we took care of that, and they had some goods, and we decided to bring them.
Oh, thank the gods! This is my livelihood. You don't know what this means. She goes, "Well, you can just kind of drop them off at the front door. I'll bring them in. I'll bring them in."
I kind of look a little nervous. Not sure if I feel comfortable just leaving them at the front door. I've heard some things about nefarious people in town. I would feel much more comfortable if we brought them in for you.
I won't say no to help.
With that, I'll head out the doors and start trying to lift stuff off the cart.
And as you guys are carrying them in, she says, you must let me pay you." And she offers you a big sack, has 50 gold pieces in it. She's like, "I didn't think I would ever see these again."
If she offers it to me, I would probably initially kind of decline a little bit. Like, no, it is. My God would not look fondly on me taking payment so easily on something like this. It's good of all travelers to help those out who may have lost something.
She kind of looks at you and goes, she goes, well, here you go then. She kind of just tosses the bag over to you. Kind of lands on top of the box that you're carrying. And she goes, well, if you need anything else, just please let me know. I do have a small supply. It's modest for what the Red Brands leave me in the back for some armor and some scruples and things.
Okay, Sintaris takes the bag of gold and goes over to Grynar and says, would your god mind if you accepted a gift from one of your travel companions?
I kind of smirk a little bit, and I suppose he would be all right with that.
All right. Exactly. All right, so I distribute the equal share to all my travel companions.
Okay.
Or as equal as we can make it with uneven number.
Is that like 13 gold a person or something like that? 13 point something.
Yeah, something like that.
All right.
For the sake of argument, let's just call it 13.
That'll say 14, be friendly.
Yeah.
All right, and she goes, well, if you're looking for a fun place to spend that, normally I'd send you over to the Giant Tap, but it's not in the best of hands nowadays. But the Stonehill Inn does a pretty fine ale. You head your way over there.
Yeah, I nod. And, well, I think we need a room for the night anyway, so I'm sure we'll find ourselves there before too long.
Sounds good. Should we head to the inn first, or do you want to stop at the shrine?
I kind of just nod over and, defer to you. It's up to you. Where would you like to head?
As anxious as I am to visit the shrine, I think we're all pretty tired and could use rest and a meal and a drink. So let's head on over to the inn.
Get a room set first.
Certainly won't say no to a drink.
What kind of dwarf would you be if you did?
Gotta live up to them stereotypes.
All right, so yeah, everyone's in agreement. Heading over to the inn.
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay. Yeah, so it's in the center of town. It's a large, newer building. Sits on one of those fieldstone bases with the rough kind of wood timbers building up the rest of it from there. Common room. It's all filled with locals, kind of nursing their mugs of ale quite quickly. Some of them drinking a bit of cider. All of them looking at you with curiosity as you make your way through the door.
Yeah, I think pretty much without any pretense or awkwardness, I just find the first open seat and try and nod over to whether there's a barkeep or a serving girl, and the first person I can catch the eye of that looks like they work here, and order a big mug of ale as they'll serve.
Yeah. So she kind of runs over to you. Little barmaid kind of runs over and goes, "Yes, just some drinks for you." Yes. Kind of lays down 3 mugs of ale, assuming you're all going to want one.
Do you have any elven wine?
Yeah, I think as you say that, I smirk a little bit and like take the 3 towards me and like, thank you, this is for me. They can order their own.
But she kind of smirks you a little bit, starts to laugh, and then goes, kind of, you don't laugh back, and she's like, "Oh, haven't had any shipments in lately."
Very well.
Any spirits?
Spirits? Not many.
Do you have any wine at all, elven or otherwise?
Well, we have some wine that one of the local farmers makes out of some beet juice, if you'd like that.
Ugh. Nothing for me, thank you.
All right. And he kind of turns over to Horvin. You, my little friend?
What spirits do you have on offer?
Well, kind of looks over at the bar and kind of thinks for a second. I think I do have a nice bottle of whiskey. It was just brought in from the North Mountains. I can probably open that. There's a local little adventurer who goes out and always brings me back a few trinkets. Darren Edermath is his name, the orchard keeper. He usually brings back a few things. He's a former adventurer. But I think he brought me a bottle. I can probably pop it open for you.
Yeah, that sounds wonderful. Thank you.
Well, don't thank me. If you enjoy it, you head over to that Edermath orchard and you thank Darren.
My ears kind of perk up at that name, and I say, Darren Edermath. I've been meaning to talk to him anyway. Perhaps we will have to go thank him for that.
And with that, she kind of nods off, brings back, and she kind of likes it, so she just kind of leaves this. It's probably a little smaller than a 2-liter soda, kind of whiskey, and just kind of leaves it at your table with a glass and sets a little thing of water over by you, Sintaris.
Thank you.
I will
Yeah,
water
you're
straight
here. You kind of flick the glass off and just pop open the cork.
Yeah.
So now you're here. You're drinking. People are still eyeballing you a little weird, and you could tell that there was a small bit of tenseness as the barmaid was coming up to you, like you're new, and the trouble they had, you probably assume she just doesn't really take well to newcomers, nor anyone for that matter.
Now, did we see where Sildar went?
As you were riding past towards the Lion Shield Coster, to your left, you saw a big building that you could assume is probably the Town Master's Hall. And you saw Sildar talking with a man on the stairs there.
So that's like the main area of town, or that's where the whatever mayor or governor or whatever would be.
Yeah.
I'd probably tell my party there and say, we probably need to talk to him at some point at least. He'll know, or at least be able to point us in the right direction of someone who would know a lot about the area, who might be able to point to where I think Sildar said the Black Spider may know more information. We may be able to track him down. I'm still concerned for my cousin. He wouldn't have given up that easily, and he found something big. So if he had any information, they would have taken it somewhere important.
And you see this guy is one table over, probably 3 or 4 feet behind you, Grynar. He kind of perks up and burps a little bit. Clearly had a lot to drink. And as he stumbles up from his chair, you hear the scooching of the wood and this pickaxe kind of tumble over next to him. And he comes over and leans obnoxiously close to you, Grynar, and feels like, "Get out." And he kind of looks at you. "The town master looking for someone to run off them orc raiders seen at the end of the Tribal Trail there. Fair bit of gold if you're heading over there. You look like decent folk. Thought you might want to know." And at that, he kind of starts to stumble a little bit more and falls back into his chair. He's like, "Just something to think about." And he looks over and goes, "Elsa, another ale."
You know, as he's about to slump back in his chair, could I maybe move it with my foot?
Yeah. So yeah, you roll me a stealth check. See if you do it without him hearing it scooch across the floor. I will roll with a disadvantage perception here.
That is a 14 plus 7, so that's 21.
Nice.
So yeah, Grynar's kind of just like wincing as he's obnoxiously close, burping and stumbling all over Grynar's face. And you just kind of stick your foot out, keeping an eye on him, and slide your chair. And as he slumps back, you hear this as he falls, and his pickaxe falls over in his lap, and he just and he falls asleep against the table.
I kind of look over and then look at the barkeep. Elsa, right? That was your name?
Yes, sir. Yes. More ale?
Why don't you, the one that he was going to order, why don't you bring it to me? I don't think he can hold it. And as I'm saying that, like, as I finish kind of the third one that was in front of me when she brought 3, I push it back and yes, bring me his. It'll be good.
She kind of looks down and goes, "Oh, Lanar. He's a miner, you know. He works all night, all day down there in the mines. So if he's not mining, he's drinking, and you see what happens there. But yes, I'm sure. And you know what? He's already paid for his round for the day, so don't even worry about it." She runs back, brings back another ale.
Yeah, I think this one I'm sipping a little slower and kind of just chatting with the party, trying to figure out what we're gonna do next. What time of day is it?
Yeah, you're probably looking. It's probably just sunsetting, so like 6, 7.
Yeah, so I guess we're just talking whether we're getting a room for the night or if we're gonna try and do something. I'm mostly content to just stay here and drink ale. So if no one pushes me in a direction, that's probably what I'll default to.
As you're doing this, you see Sildar kind of come through the door, a little happy, walks up to the counter, and you see him talking to a, not Elsa, but another lady standing there talking to Elsa. Look at her, pass her a few coins, kind of look around the room a little bit and spot you guys, grab an ale, and he comes over and joins you. And goes, "So, how do you like Phadalin?"
The selection of elven wines is non-existent.
What did you say the people that was taking over the town?
Oh, the red brands.
All right. Okay. I'm literally just getting to know my character still, so I only just noticed one of the flaws.
You actually see Sildar kind of perk up and goes, "Actually, no, I was just talking to Trelena, that's the one up there, the innkeeper's wife. Thel Denda, he's a local woodcarver. He does some fine work if you ever get a chance to stop by. I guess he stood up to the Red Brands about a 10-day ago when they came by his shop and leered a little funny at his wife. She told me that the ruffians murdered him, just straight out. And then several townsfolk saw it happen. And then the Red Brands took his body, took his wife, took his daughter, and his son. They've gone missing. This town is just horribly gotten out of hand.
I'm not a fan of police.
Looking
Said
at
this was murder that was witnessed.
Murder that was witnessed. Those Red Brands, they're getting pretty ballsy.
Why are they not in jail? Does town not have law?
You looked around, this settlement's barely 3 years old. They've been here a couple months taking advantage of all the lack of authority. Town master, he's too afraid to do anything.
How many of these Red Brands are there?
I don't think they've ever really shown their full numbers. I'm not entirely sure.
Are we in Phandelin?
Yes.
Yeah,
Phandelin,
yeah.
this is your Kirtland.
Okay, Holvin would turn to the party and be like, we could maybe look for a lady called, someone called Thornton. Which reading his background, he knows who they are. I'm literally only just discovering that, yeah, there's quite a bit that he does know. Yeah.
No?
Look for someone called Thornton. They would probably be able to aid us in the takedown of the Red Brands.
And Sildar kind of goes, do you want to take on the Red Brands?
I do.
And you see this this woman kind of look over at you funny after Sildar says this rather loudly. He goes, you know, who you might want. You said Thornton, did you?
I did, yes.
Smart choice of ally. The Red Brands, they hassle every business in town, except for the Phadalin Miners Exchange. Halia Thornton's business. They don't want trouble with her.
That's good. It's either we fight them or they hunt for me.
I like the first option a lot more.
But Sildar goes, oh, almost forgot. I have procured us a room. Well, 2 rooms. I like to sleep alone, if you'll forgive me. And he goes, they're just upstairs. The step is just there in the back. And he goes, if you'll excuse me, and kind of downs the rest of it, I think I'll excuse myself for the night.
Well, gentlemen.
Yeah.
I was just going to say, well, gentlemen, while we do have other pressing matters, I feel that the murder of an innocent and the kidnapping of women and children cannot stand. If we can do something to rectify that situation and prevent further instances, I think we should do it.
I agree. We need to teach the Red Brands a lesson.
Yeah, I agree. I say we rest for the night and head out early in the morning.
Yes, we make with the woman you were told or the man you were told to meet and see what help they can provide, and the tap room where they frequently hang out in town, and we could probably make sure that at the very least their ale isn't flowing freely.
With that, I'd stand up and cork the bottle and head to the counter.
And Elsa kind of perks up as she sees you coming and kind of has to catch herself as she normally looks at a human eye level and then kind of tilts down a little bit and goes, yes.
What would it be for this whole bottle? Well, the half that's left.
Well, I'll tell you what. From what I overheard in your little conversation there, talking about Halia and Halia Thornton, we'll open a tab, and if you can if you can rid our fine town of those red brands, the bottle is yours, including a second one.
Eyes perk up, raise an elbow, an eyebrow, and say, "Okay, see, it's the alcohol." And says, "Yeah, that can be arranged. Thank you."
No, let me give you a preemptive thank you, sir.
And I sort of nod and head to the room.
Yeah, I'd probably do the same. Finish my ale and toss her a few, whatever it would be, copper, gold, silver. I don't know how much 4 or 5 mugs of ale is worth, and head up to the room.
And then, Sintaris, are you following suit?
Yep, I'll stand up, bow politely to Elsa, and head up to the room as well.
Okay. All right, so yeah, you kind of you all head up there. There's only one open door, 3 beds, all in different corners of the room. And you kind of settle in for the night, contemplating in your minds how you're going to handle the red brands and all the information that you've gotten from the fine denizens of the bar about Helia Thornton, about the murder of Thel Dendrar, and the what was it? Oh, the Edermath Orchard that your fine whiskey came from, the adventurer there. All of you just dreaming about what you're going to do tomorrow, contemplating in your head how you're going to handle the situation. And with that, your eyes slowly shut and you pass off into a deep sleep. And I think that is where we will call it a night.
That's a good idea. I was going to suggest the same thing.
All right.
Cool. So, yeah, we will do thank everyone for sticking with us. And our fine players here. I love playing with these guys. They've that's the thing. And Thomas, it's our first time playing with him, but he's a tabletop dad too. And I'll tell you, Thomas, if you're with us, you're welcome back as a rogue anytime.
Yeah, I've enjoyed it. It's been fun.
So with that, I want to say thanks for watching. Once again, this is Tabletop Dads. My name is Jordan. And you guys will be able to catch this video up on our channel shortly. So with that, I will bid everyone a good night.
Thanks, Jordan.